All of the advertising and the marketing that you do or we do as an organization is always at the mercy of individual brands. Companies will spend time, effort, money, resources, energy trying to build a brand by all of the stuff that is the framework, forgetting about the fact that if we advertise this or we say this, our people need to be able to live it. It doesn't matter if you've got a Super Bowl commercial if that service that you promise isn't there when somebody shows up to be able to ask for or need what you provide.
Dan did a great job of taking, something that we've all heard in different conversations before and just really refreshing it and making it very simple. He inspired me to go back and look at what I do for my branding as a consultant.
Taking the personal aspect about branding as well as just branding yourself as a person. He kind of got into that a lot, which was interesting.
Well, Dan interjected a lot of different techniques in connecting. He put a lot of personal stories in there, which really makes it easy to listen to throughout the presentation.
As all of you develop your brands, whether you work for yourselves or you're a consultant or have your own company, or you work for an employer, it's important to talk and to understand how brands work because brands are about people. 80% of a company's value is based on intangibles. You can tell. You can tell if you're approaching somebody, you're talking with somebody who is open, sincere, willing to help, interested in what they can do for you. You can tell.
I loved Dan's presentation because it was so practical and it was information that I could definitely use in my own brand statements.
Including the audience by asking questions and giving examples, I think that's a great way to learn from each other. We can all identify from each other's experiences.
But this is an important statement and kind of the crux of all brands. I know what our company stands for and what separates us from the competition. Go back and sound some alarm bells and say, listen, Gallup tells us that if we have an engaged work group, if the people in our company can say, I know what we stand for, and I know what makes us different, those companies grow over 2.5 times faster than companies that don't. Just by that simple thing, most of our employees can say, I know what my company stands for, I know what makes us different.
I thought the examples were fun, and he got the audience to stand up and give some personal examples as well, and it's always entertaining when you can include the audience.
Very informative. It made me think a little bit more about the company I work for and things that we're doing really well and maybe some things that we could improve upon.
Interesting to hear how you connect with different audiences, and it's interesting to hear about the importance of the personal connection versus the big brand, the little brand.
I think it's a lot of food for thought because we really, we don't as a group brand ourselves that well, and I think it's something we probably really need to do.
Dan gave a lot of great stories on why and how brands are built, and then was also able to show us how to build our own brand.
So here's what a brand statement is all about. If you're building a resume, this applies. If you're building a Fortune 500 organization, this applies. A brand statement is the first thing that all of us need to show the world what we're all about, what makes us different. I know what I stand for. I know what separates me from the competition. Everything you say and do is a commercial for your brand. That person that you sit next to at the concert, what she says is indicative of not only her personal brand, but who she works for. Everything that you say and do is a commercial for your brand.
I thought it was great.
Very informational and inspiring.
He kept my attention the whole time.
It was great. I definitely recommend it. He's got a lot of ideas for making your employees more important and empowering your employees to understand that they are the face of your brand.
Brand with a big B, brand with a little b. If you work in an organization, think of that organization as the umbrella brand, right? Think of yourself as brand with a lowercase b, not to diminish your contributions, but to say, how do these brands work together?
I would definitely recommend this presentation for anyone who's looking to build a brand, whether it's personally on their own or even just working for a company that's trying to build a brand.
It was very energetic, very inspiring, and it's the kind of presentation that makes you want to go off and do something with it and from it.
Organizations don't make people great, but people are what make organizations great.